What's up, YouTube? Today is Sunday. I'm sitting around the house. I'm not working on any trucks. And I was getting kind of bored. Then I remembered I have this old fluorescent light that I found in one of my shops that just looked cool. It's all rusty and it's useless for a light. So I'm tearing it apart and let's see what we can make out of it. So the idea is to take, this thing is rusted. It looks cool. The idea is to make this in a shadow box. Now I've made several shadow boxes in the past. I collect old straight razors and I think we can put them in here. Let's check it out. So this is it. This is where the old fluorescent bulbs locked in. There was I can't even remember what it's called. I pulled that out and I think because this is kind of heavy, I'm gonna remove the back plating off of this. And that way it makes it a little bit lighter so when I hang it up, but man, look at the rust. It's just super cool looking. And I think that would make a great shadow box for all my straight razors. So I want to pull this apart and then I think I'm going to take 1.5 inch wood and line the inside across here, all the way across. And that will give me the ability to fasten down some of this old barn wood. Now this barn wood is over 130 years old and I'd like to have that as the backdrop. I have more pieces over here. You can kind of see what we use some of this in our house. But yeah, this stuff is really cool looking. I think it'd make a cool backdrop. I mean, look how weathered some of this stuff is. It's super cool. So I'll cut that up and fit it in there and make that backstop. So I pulled everything apart. This all came out over here. This comes out, and then this big piece lifts up, and it is heavy. So getting rid of that will save a lot of weight. All right, now that I've removed that back plate, which is right here, that still looks cool, nice and rusty and cool. It has nothing to stabilize it, so I'm going to put some self-tapping screws in these corners so it won't shift around. Placing 1 inch self-tappers in each corner. Now I have taken the measurement from here to there and cut these 2 pieces of wood. They're 1.25 inches. And then we have right at 1/2 inch right here. So that will line up somewhere about right here. Now that'll give me a spot for my backlighting. And when that wood goes in, it'll butt up right to here and I'll secure it down to these blocks of wood. Right, like so, and right in here. So the wood will go down on here. That gives me plenty of room for my lighting and for all my straight razors. So now you can see I have these screws that are holding this piece of wood under here from the backside. Now I am laying out my wood to see what grain looks the best. Now this is the stuff that I really love. I love these knots, these holes. Yeah, this is super old antique wood and I think it looks really good and it gives it character. My next step is take the measurements from here to there, cut these all to equal length so they will slide down on here and butt up against that. That will give me plenty of room for my lighting and we'll secure them down. All right, guys, now that I have all my wood cut in here to fit, I'll flip it over and screw it in from the back side to make sure everything is locked down. Then I'll put a piece of trim around this edge, the inside, that'll mate up from here to here. And the thing should be ready for some new razor installs. All right, guys, now you can see how everything is lined up. I have everything secured along that top edge and along this bottom edge with screws. I just had some old sheetrock screws laying around, sucked it down nicely. I think the patina looks awesome. Next is to make a piece of trim that follows this whole line on the inside so you won't really see the trim. It'll be right here at this edge, fall down. All right, guys, you can see how my trim cut stuffed up in here. Here's the other pieces that go along the side. Of course, I've got another piece in here. Now I'm contemplating maybe putting a little bit of stain on this edge, but I kind of like the contrast of the dark to light. Now I'll be putting lights up here like I said earlier, and that way when I put my glass on here, it'll shine down on all of my straight razors. All right, I've got all the trim around the edges. You can see it in here. Got my trim pieces, that little tiny piece. It's in there. So now you gotta wait for part 2 to show you what's happening with this thing. So here's the sneak peek of what I'm building. And when I said I collect razors, I collect a bunch of them. But I think it'll look good with all this old rust. It's just gonna look super cool. This is the rusty frame. I'll be putting in it with a piece of clear plexiglass. And you can see I have another set right up there. Guys, I hope you enjoy the content. Stay tuned, and as always, see ya.